Woo! Disassemble! Alrighty, well here we are after I'm reclaiming lumber from those shelves. I've got quite a bit of 2x4 stock there. We're going to build some new shelves in the shed, move a bunch of this stuff out there where it belongs. And for those shelves, I've got some of my best, straightest, and flattest 2x4s that I pulled out of that shelving unit. We're going to split a few of those down into 2x2s basically for along the back wall. I've got studs every 24 inches. I don't need to burn a whole 2x4 to hold camping gear. So I'll split some down and use some 2x2s against the back wall and use some 2x4s on the front of the shelf because that'll span 8 feet. And then we've got some plywood that's left over here. We've got a number of different pieces and scraps. We're just going to go ahead and use all those up on the shelves in the shed. It's just a shed. We'll get those out of the way so that we can bring in some decent wood for working on the bench here. So let's see how this Evolution table saw will do. I've got the factory blade in it, but I have bought two DeWalt blades, a 40 tooth and a 60 tooth. So we'll see how the factory blade does. I really can't speak. Ripping some of these 2x4s, and once we get a few of those ripped down for the parts list, I'll go ahead and get the miter saw up here and start cutting some things to length. Room is pretty tight right now. I've got so much junk in here as I'm trying to tear things out and set things up and move things around. I think once I get all this sorted, it'll be a nice workshop. I don't know why I didn't think of this. I should have known better. I mean, I watched enough videos. I put the bench on casters. That's great, except when you're trying to run a piece of wood through it and the bench rolls away from you. So for now, I've got 15 gallons of water back there so the table won't roll anywhere, and I've ordered some riser casters that'll be in this afternoon, and I'll swap those out, and I'll be able to use the lever to put the casters down, roll it around, and flip it up so that where I'm going to work, it's flat on the bottom of the table legs. So yeah, little lesson learned there. You know, I see why people take these blade guards off. What a pain in the butt. One of my last videos building the bench, I was using C-clamps, and I said, I'm going to get me some fast clamps. I got me some Irwin clamps. Got a link on my Amazon associates if you're affiliates. Link if you're interested. We'll see how they go. So far I'm pretty happy. They were like 20 bucks. So maybe 20, I think I got the next day offer. They were like 24, but still. Going to set up our Mickey Mouse stop block here. We got to cut 10 21 1/4 inch 2x4s for the ends of the shelves on each side of the shed, and then we'll start building the center post at 8 foot, because I got 8 foot on one side and 40 some inches on the other side. So I'm going to then cut some of the 2x2s at about 18 inches, and we'll start adding those to the center post, the front center post, and yeah, we'll go from there. Excuse me, 21 1/4. Did I say 20 1/4? See, that's why you measure. That's why you write out a plan. Now, my plan that I drew up over the last couple days was kind of just a general idea, because I wasn't sure how the walls in the shed were constructed, so I had a pretty good idea what I wanted to do. But until this morning where I got everything out of the way and was able to get in there and actually check it out. Okay, so Mickey Mouse deal, I got to move this, and this bracket is just here to act kind of as a counter lever to hold that other one in place. Let's see if we're still on the money. This really isn't that critical, but might as well have it look. Oh, let's see, we got to squeeze that down a little more. Maybe we'll go ahead and put one on behind the fence here. That bottom. No, that's still going to move quite a bit. Okay, so let's think about this a minute. Let's slide this back so we get a little more leverage on that. That's more better. Now, did I move it all over the place? No, that's close enough. All right. So yeah, that should be good enough for a Mickey Mouse stop block for what I'm doing. Yeah, the heights don't match, but that doesn't really matter. I do need to get blocks on the other end. Until it stops. Damn near perfect. Good enough for the girl I go with. There's 10. We will stop there. We will start doing a little bit of assembly. And go from there. It is going to be so nice when everything has a home. I spend so much time chasing everything. Nothing has a home right now, so it kind of gets put wherever looks good at the moment. And yeah, I left the dustpan over there. No point in sweeping it on the floor to sweep it up. Sweep it in a dustpan. So my father-in-law had a wood shop in Houston for a number of years, and I have his 10-inch miter saw here too, but that one I use just grab and go for projects. So that'll be nice to have that. I also have his big shop vac that he used for dust control and vacuuming. So when I get a little further along and can set that up, that's going to be really nice. Thank you, Rick. Should say, thank you, Daddy-O. That's more better. All right. Now, no, I was just gonna say, I already lost my dang drill motor. I didn't. It's right here. Out of the way. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. I don't know about this thing. This was my dad's. I don't know that he used it that much. It's been sitting in his den for, no, he's been gone. Gotta be 5 or 6 years this year. I can't remember. But it just smells like kind of that electrical motor burnout smell, but seems to run fine, so maybe it just stinks. Okay, so I don't know how much of this you can see, but basically this is where I was figuring out my heights. This is my main shelf. I've got another piece of paper where I went through and measured a bunch of my bins and my camping gear, and holy crap, here comes the rain. You hear that? Of course, now that I'm in here with the doors open. Oh well, alright, back at it. So anyway, just kind of drew things out, figure out what kind of heights I needed. So my big bins are 20 inches. They're actually about 18, but I want a little play there. So that's to the bottom of what was going to be a 2x4. And that 2x4 is still going to be there. So the difference is I was going to lay the plywood right on the 2x4 and run a 2x4 across here, across the face of the shelf. But I'm running into just kind of weird construction error issues where this is the edge of the wall and this is the edge of the wall, and there's actually 3.5 inches back is where the wall is. So I either leave a gap down the wall with my shelf, but then over here on this side, when I hit the 8-foot 2x4, I'm 3.5 inches off. So I want to slide it all back against the wall here, so I hit the center of this 2x4 that's in the wall. Hit the center of that 2x4 in the wall. But that means when I put this front 2x4 in, instead of it being flat on the face as I had planned, I'm going to put it on the end. And then I think what I'm going to do is I was going to put the 2x4s in as braces and then build a 2x2 shelf on top of those plywood. So I've got these 12-inch shelves here, and I will put the 12-inch shelf on front and then rip one in half and put it in the back. So I'll need a 2x2 where that split is, and that'll just be these top 3 shelves. And that way I can get these shelves off the wall, use that, get these ugly shelves off the wall, use that lumber, get the shelves over here out of the way, and go through all this stuff and decide what I'm actually going to keep on the shelves and what's going to get donated, sold, go to the dump, whatever. And then just cut so this will be the end of my shelf right here. And then after this shelf is built and I can move a bunch of stuff on, then I will add on another 40-ish inch shelf on this side, and those shelf heights might not match, which means I'm going to have to do some moving of my battery, and this wiring was all temporary, but now that I'll have shelves in here, I can figure out where that stuff needs to go more permanently. The funny thing is, I know darn well, with my luck, that control box is going to be right where I need to put my 2x4. So we may have to do some adjustment sooner than later. But anyway, let's get to it. And now we're getting hail. This is going to be one of those interesting days. Oh, listen to that rain. Really? Battery dies now. run through that and get a battery. Something's telling me this ain't my day. Well, I guess I ain't gonna melt. Alright. So being as I had to go in there and it's pouring down rain, I went ahead and grabbed me some of the 2x2s too, so that we can get this figured out. Alright. Got some 2x2s. Put my eyeballs back on. Let's see if we can't. Alright, so I got this on screw. Let's turn this down a little bit, see if that helps this popping out crap that I got going on all the time. So, I'll tell you one thing. I am going away from these Phillips head deck screws for projects like this because these are a pain in the butt. Been a long time since I've done much of this, so it's taking a little bit to come back to me. Alright, I got a lull. I'm grabbing the other 2x4. Not too bad of a little hand saw. Started here. No point in running this stuff back and forth to the miter saw in this weather. Not that hard to cut it off. Yeah, and it burns calories. Of course, I guess running back and forth burns calories too. Alright, so yeah, that's about perfect. Just about damn near perfect. Alright. So, what you do with a needle and thread? You sew. Okay. So here's a little update. We got most of the skeleton in, the framing in for the shelves. Got a 2x4 in the middle because that's going to be some narrower pieces of 3/4 ply split down the center for those top shelves, just using up what I got. But I got the bottom 2 shelves in, and yes, those tubs stick out on purpose. That's not a problem. Those bottom tubs are pretty heavy, and I'll probably pull them out a hair further when it's in actual use, and my big canvas tent will lay across them, and the things on that shelf that will go behind it it'll all kind of go together. When I go on a trip, that stuff will all come out, so it doesn't matter if there's things kind of in front of what's on the shelf. But just kind of threw stuff up here to get it off the floor. Today we're going to be moving over and finishing this corner. Yeah, I got to move the stuff that's stacked. But basically what I decided to do is I've cut some 14.5-inch 2x4s that will fit in here, so that I can run the shelves across. And I've decided that for the top top 4 shelves, they will all be the same height. And then this bottom shelf, I've got to make it for that black rolling cabinet to roll under lengthwise. So this top shelf, this first shelf will be a little higher up here. So we'll figure that out once we get this stuff out of the way and get these other shelves in and can move stuff on. And then we're going to pull all this stuff, all this junk off that wall, pull those crappy shelves down. That's actually the 3/4 inch pieces of plywood I'm going to use for the top 3 shelves. It's about 11 inches, so 5-foot pieces and 3-foot pieces. So my 8-foot shelf, that'll work pretty good. And I'll just have to rip 1 in half basically for the 18-inch shelf. It might be a hair short on the back, but I mean, the stuff that's going up there is big stuff. If there's a little gap, it doesn't matter. I don't need to go buy sheets of plywood for $50 to make shed shelves. Okay. Now we're going to set up a table saw. We're going to rip some plywood.
Oh.
Okay. This can be kind of dangerous from the standpoint that it can throw wood back at you. Okay. Now these fingers should help stop that. Nothing to be afraid of, just something to be aware of. It can happen. Okay. So over here, see the silver pin?
Yes.
Silver scale. Black pin?
Black scale.
Black scale, exactly. So if you notice, it starts at 0. So you got to be on the silver pin to get all the way up to the blade. Okay. To go to the black scale, you have to run this thing. You're going to run it all the way out. I'm going to flip both of these levers.
It's already hooked around?
Well, you got to flip it around to go to the silver pin. Because see how this is a gap? If you're doing something wide, it lays in this when you're this far out. Okay? But, yeah, what the heck? Yeah, I don't know why I flipped it around. I must have had it backwards at some point. Okay, never mind. But anyway, yeah, so you change the pin. Now I couldn't take it off. That was fighting me. Okay, so now if you went all the way to 0, you'd have to take this guard off. You'd go all the way up to, right up to the blade. Okay, makes sense? All right, so I wrote down the numbers on that pad of paper. So what does the top number say?
This?
Yeah.
7.5.
7.5. So we'll run this out to 7.5. Okay. Lock down. Hand me the tape measure. And then I just double check. And we are on right at 7.5, basically right at the middle of the blade. Okay? So that verifies our cut. Okay, so you can put that back. This is a push stick, so you don't get your hands down there. I need to get some little bit better ones. But, you ready? It's going to be noisy.
I assume. Is it going to fly out? That's why the 5 foot and the 3 foot makes sense now.
Yeah, because it's an 8-foot shelf, and then we'll have to trim a little bit off of that because it's not quite 8 feet. Okay. Then, what's the next number? Is it 6 1/4?
9 3/4.
No, 6 1/4.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
So we have to set this to 6 3/4, 6 1/4, 6 1/4.
The garage doesn't smell like 442 anymore. It smells like wood.
Hopefully the car still smells like 442 inside the car. Okay. Do you want to do one?
Sure.
Okay. Come here.
You just push.
Yeah, but just gentle. You don't have to push it hard. Just let the saw do the work. So watch your fence. Keep it straight.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to bind the saw. In there is when the blade can grab it and hit you with it. Always push it all the way through, okay?
Okay.
Alright. Nice job. So now I gotta find some more wood because that kind of depleted our shelves that were easily cut.
Wow.
Good job.
The only thing about this table saw is dust is
Huh?
everywhere.
You go get dirty, girl. On the shelves, what do you think?
I like it.
It's kind of cool, huh?
Yeah.
Alright. So there we go. There's our shelves, all completed. I am getting a little sag in a couple of those 2x2s in the plywood aren't quite as strong as I had anticipated, and the stuff's probably a little heavier than I thought, but that'll be easily remedied with a couple of upright 2x4s in the center of those two bottom 8-foot shelves. We'll just prop them in there and toenail them in, or use some pocket screws and just put a couple of uprights in the center, hold those flat and straight. That won't be any problem at all. We'll do that another day. I got a lot of sorting. I just threw everything up, not everything, but a lot of stuff up on the shelves. I still got a lot to sort through. A lot of that needs to get sorted, but I had a heck of a lot more storage there that way than I had before, with the shelves on the side and bins all over the place, and I got a lot of space left. So once I get that organized and get those inner fenders out of there on top for my back on my truck where they belong, that's a whole nother spot I'll have. So yeah, it's been a good weekend project. We're going to call her good there for today. Thanks for coming out and playing with me again, hanging out and having fun, and we'll see you on the next one. That's how Fred does it. Damn near perfect. Thanks for coming out and working together today. If y'all like this video, check out these videos and other projects. Leave me a comment. Check out my other links in the description, or subscribe for future videos from How Fred Does It. That's how we did it. Thanks all. Take care.